How's it going, family? Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Go ahead, give this a thumbs up. That way I will know you could hear my voice. All right, beautiful, beautiful. How's everyone doing? Sending y'all lots of love. Shout out to Abs. I hope you're doing well, brother. Appreciate you and the 3T family. It was beautiful to connect with Coach JV yesterday. Got a little emotional. I love it. I love it. JV's a real one, man. I really respect him. I have a lot to learn from him as well. All right, off the gate, people are asking about XRP. You know, man, like, I just did a full collaboration with Good Morning Crypto Show. I just had a surprise last minute podcast with Bearable Bull over on his channel. I released a YouTube video in the same day. I mean, it's like, how sweet does my blood taste? You know, man? Like, we're putting in a lot of work here, man. There's no need for more, you know? There's no need for more. It's like you want 3 desserts. You got two desserts, now you want 3. Like, this is like a 5-star Michelin restaurant, you know? Like, you got 20 courses. 20-course meal, 2 desserts. I don't know how spicy I'm going to get today. All right, we're just letting some people join. Gonna say hi to the family. Hope you guys are enjoying these visuals. If you're just joining in now, go ahead, give this a thumbs up and maybe share this on your socials. Spread the word about what we're doing over here, which is a lot more than crypto. A lot more. There's a lot more to life. Mad, appreciate you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Sue Cryptos, appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Mr. Jansen, great to have you here with us, brother. Dustin, it's all love, brother. You said thanks for the non-stop grind. Your wizardry still amazes me 2 years after discovering you. Glad to be expanding consciously with this community, and the community loves you, man. We appreciate you. Wolf for life. Sending love over to North Carolina. Let me know where you guys are at. Got Asheville in the house. All right. Ray Face, I appreciate you being a YouTube member. You got a black pill, man. Woof. You've been a member for a while. I appreciate that. Got that upgrade. Justin Coelho, Black Pill, got that upgrade. That's what I'm talking about. Lolo Blondo, Black Pill. Much love to you. I appreciate you. Moorish Prince, C7, appreciate you. All right, all right. Jason W. Lewis. Great to have you, brother. Lou Banga says, no words I can say beyond appreciative for the work you're doing, not just regarding crypto, but the true work of expanding consciousness. I appreciate you, Lou. We're all just helping each other. You know, we're all just reminding each other. That's the beauty of what we're doing here. LMS says, can't wait for the new course. Yeah, I'm really excited. Really excited to do what I plan to be doing next week over on Patreon with a little submission form. Going to be, you know, working directly with the community to ask what you guys are interested in regarding decoding. I think that that's really going to help me quite a bit with just knowing your frequently asked questions. And then that will prepare what will become a poll, probably like a week later. We'll do a poll of, you know, maybe try to find the top 5 things that you guys are interested in most regarding decoding. And then we'll take it from there. But I really, really, really want to take my time on this course. I do not want to rush it. I really do not, because I think that it's going to be so, you know, I don't even want to hype it up. I'm not even going to go there. I don't even want to hype it up. My work alone sets the tone. You know, this art that we're sharing on a weekly basis for the past 2.5 years, it sets the tone, you know. Those last decodes that we were putting out, I mean, yeah. And I got the August Blue Moon Decoded coming out soon, which is going to be really, really dope. I started working on that a lot today. Chill Lee, appreciate you having my back. It's all love. Yeah, Paula Rose, shout out. I appreciate you. You're right. I will be covering all of the crypto everything tomorrow in the Red Pill podcast. So Red Pill podcast over on Patreon, patreon.com/WatersAbove, the mastermind community. I will have that new podcast out. Of course, we're going to be recapping this volatility for XRP, but also another thing is I might be recapping XLM, because a while back when me and Bearable Bull first connected, I shared a price target with him for XLM of 17 cents, and we hit that level too. So the accuracy up in here, man, we're really dialed in. Really dialed in. Blake's Odyssey asks a question. First of all, shout out to our brother Blake. Hope you're doing well, man. I'm looking forward to our call soon. I believe you've booked a call recently. Looking forward to that. You said, Jordan, what are your thoughts on participating in Burning Man? Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. Let's look at some pictures of Burning Man. Look at the logo, though. Yo. It has a logo. Gotta love this. All right. We'll have some fun. Day after the solstice. All right. There you go. Sun worship. Well, this logo is really, really interesting. Obviously, it's a person It's like a really awkward stick figure logo. But the head being a diamond, this diamond symbolism isn't actually the pineal gland. That gets very, it's easy to mistake it for the pineal gland, but that diamond is actually it's the vatika. It is the vagina. That's what that symbol is. And it's in the upright position, showing you a switch of the as above, so below. I have a full decode on where that all comes from. But yeah, that symbolism of the diamond in the head position is very interesting. It's not much to decode though. It's basic. What is going on here? Let me just go to some pictures. I don't think we're gonna get too much. Oh my goodness. I knew I would see some creatures here. I knew it. Yes. Yes. Oh yes. This is gonna be fun. There's nothing like a little egoic spiritualism plus rave. What the fuck is this group of all-stars? It's not the comedy podcast though. It is not the comedy podcast, but this is golden. This is solid guy. I like the ukulele, like just throwing that in there. This is good. The unicorn horn, very cool. Look at the pants on this guy. It's like a 50-year-old mom's yoga pants. I'm sure his little name badge says, "Hello, my pronoun is he, her, he, them person." Okay, here's what it is, family. It's just it's a fire ritual. Ritual gathering many people, burning. It's all prana. Oh, this is good. This is really good. Rainbow, inverted chakras, putting the root chakra at the top, which is exactly what we're dealing with in this world today. We got this purple at the bottom. That's your crown at the bottom. It's all inverted. We're in the upside down world. And it is that way. It is a very material, root-driven reality. That is exactly why the logo is the diamond root chakra symbolism in the top position. Because that's all this stuff is. It's a worship of the material realm. This is what binds you to the physical. The more you ritualize this sort of stuff, the more bound to the material you are. Without actual appreciation for the material. You're purely just bound to it more. But this is what I love the most. I love the creature features. Yes. More of this. That's a little much for me, but you get the point, guys, right? You get the point. And it's funny too, because like, let's be super real here. These are like the same people that talk shit about people that own Gucci and own Louis Vuitton. These are like the same people that like, they make fun of people for having Louis Vuitton and designer. And it's like, but look at how much you care about the way you look. Like, you cared so much to make this happen. put a lot of effort into this look. And it's not judgment. It's exactly what it is, right? This is the type of person that ends up at this event, and their prana gets used perfectly by an elite order of magi, of wizards. Everyone's just being used for their prana. You either let them use it, you either give it to them, or you learn how to protect it. So that's how I feel about Burning Man. Clint said, voice sounds tired, working too much, need a holiday, much respect. I appreciate you, brother. Yep. It's been probably the most I've communicated with humans in the past 48 hours than I ever have in my life. I'm ready to talk with a cat. Somebody get me a cat. Where are the cats at? I'm ready to have a telepathic conversation with a dog. Carmen Alexandra says, hey fam, much love. You jumped into the Mastermind Course and now I can't get out. Okay. Love your work. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Carmen. Appreciate you. Aw, Team Mama Source Rex. I appreciate that. Ronnie Size. It's all love. You said you'll buy me a ticket to my... Oh, you're going to see Tool in November. You said I'll buy you a ticket if you want to come. That's really nice of you. That's really nice of you, but whew, that would be so fun. I love Tool. Like, they're one of my favorite shows to see because of how tight they are. They're incredible live. I've seen them 3 times, I think. Yeah, about 3 times. They're really, really incredible. Amoris says, hello, I'm a loner that knows nobody and never had meaningful relationships. What should I do to change myself? That's really interesting that you feel that way. But I know you've been a regular here hanging out with us in these live streams for a while, so you do relate. Maybe what resonates with you here, do you see yourself bringing into your, circle, the people that you already know? I know you said you know nobody, but that's obviously not the case. We all know somebody, right? Do you have people that you expose some of this knowledge to, that you share some of these ideas and kind of test the waters, see how they react? I'm just interested because a lot of the times we do have beautiful relationships right in front of our eyes, but we don't really become vulnerable with those people. We don't want to be. That's really what we struggle with the most, is being vulnerable with the people who are already in our lives. You know how many people could easily convert their mom or even their daughter, right? If you have kids, you could easily convert your kids from that basic relationship of mother-daughter or father-daughter or father-son, etc. You can convert that into being best friends. And the only thing that's getting in the way of that is being vulnerable. So if you're willing to do that with anyone, you're able to make those conversions. The same thing when it comes to a partner that you have, a boyfriend or girlfriend. Like, how willing are you to be vulnerable with people to convert them into being more of a best friend, being somebody that you're willing to talk about anything with? There are no secrets. If anything, you feel at ease sharing secrets with them, you know, letting it all loose. There's really nothing you have to change about yourself. There's probably just more that you have to, it's more you have to share. Yeah, it's just there's more that you need to share. So when you go out in public and you're around people, I mean, it's just up to how much you want to share. How real do you want to be? And you can't worry about what the reaction will be. You just can't. You should not be burdened. You should not be burdened by that. There's nothing you need to change. I think that's really something we should be avoiding. There's really nothing we need to change when it comes to the way we relate to other people. You just got to be more willing to be vulnerable. I am seeing the stream drop out a lot. I'm not sure what's going down. I think it's fine. I'm not going to let it get in the way of this podcast. I'm not going to let it get in the way. But really interesting how we just went from like 400 down to 280 pretty fast. Okay, I'm not really worried if it's organic. It would be more of me worrying if it's something to do with my connection or like my internet. But anywho, Anna, I appreciate your very, very generous super chat. Really means the world to me. Thank you so much. You said Viva to your leadership, to your community of golds, your vision and actions. Congrats on immediate 300 growth in your Twitter. You and those three. I'm forever in gratitude for crossing paths with you and some wolves, especially the last few days. Love. Anna, we love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being a leader in our community. Thank you for being somebody that is so helpful all the time and desires to help. You know, you really make the mastermind community so beautiful. And, you know, shout out to our community, man. Like, really, it was just so beautiful to see how over this last week and a half, or I guess, you know, this event just happened on the 13th, a couple days ago. Wild how quickly this all flew by. But, you know, it just happened a couple days ago. And like, I would love for somebody that's in our community, but also in other communities, maybe other Discords, other Telegram groups, etc. And please tell me the difference. Tell me the difference. Because I know that during that event, when XRP shot up in a straight line, people were losing their fucking shit. And we were just like kicking back on a hammock, drinking coconut water, fucking singing lullabies, chilling. We were chillaxing. We knew this would happen. We knew the prices it would hit. We knew around the fucking date it would happen. Okay? And I'm not even taking credit for it. It's not even about that. Like what I am so, you know, just happy for is the way the community acted during the event. It was just beautiful. Like it seriously made me so fucking grateful to have what we have. How composed and how in collaboration we were. And yeah. You know, I guess I did my part to prepare everyone, but outside of that, like, you know, I was just, wow, I couldn't believe it. Just how amazing you guys were. So shout out to the WatersAbove Wolves. Shout out to the Mastermind community. You guys are legends. I mean, fuck. Think about how that moment went. And then now I want you to take maybe, let's go a year from today and think about when we're going to be in the bull run of 2024. Like how insanely on point we're going to be. I just want you to close your eyes and imagine. we have been getting better and better at decoding and technical analysis each month, refining our skills more and more as a community. Not me, us. Dude, in a year, fuck, it's going to be wild. It's going to be absolutely wild. And we're not going to be playing this I'm right, you're wrong, I'm better, you're not bullshit. Like, that's the most like toxic nonsense. Actually, I want to say something really quickly. I don't think this is going to cross his desk, but every time I put out content, it keeps being compared to the work of Blockchain Backer. Now, I don't watch Blockchain Backer's content, and shout out to Blockchain Backer for growing his channel as much as he has, because when I last checked out his work, I think he had like under 100,000 subs. And it looks like he's grown quite a bit. I think he might have only had like 60,000 or some shit. I pretty much told everyone maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago about my experiences as a consumer of technical analysis content on YouTube, and how I basically stopped it after the bull run started in 2020 into 2021. Because it was distracting me. It was distracting me from my skills, my research, my hard work, and my decoding ultimately. I was noticing that if I just stopped watching it all and just focused on my art, focused on what I do, that it would make me deliver very unique content. And that's ultimately what I'm here to do. You know, it's what a creator does. So there's nothing wrong with being influenced, and I'm not telling you guys that you should not watch other people. I think you should only do what you resonate with. Even if that's 5 people, 10 people, it doesn't matter. That's on you, right? I'm not here to tell anyone how to live their lives. But the reason I bring this up is because so many people keep putting me and Blockchain Backer in this like scaling system of who's the better TA guy. And like, I don't know Blockchain Backer. I hope is very well, and I hope he's successful, and I wish nothing but abundance for him and everyone in his family. And I hope, you know, I only have positive things to say, because that's just how I roll. But from the consumer perspective, like, people need to relax when they have that type of energy about like who's the better or who's right or who's like, who the fuck cares, man? Like, we're grown men. We have shit that we got to take care of in real life. Like, life is not the charts. And for me, I'll speak solely for myself. My imprint that I'm going to leave on this world will not be what I did with crypto. It will not. We're doing something that is very, you know, it's massive, it's grand. It's across the whole realm of consciousness as we know it. You know, we're some people might think this is too deep. Some people might think this is too spiritual. For some, it might be too this, too that. But actually, we're pretty down to earth and basic around here. Like, we try to not get too complicated. I think one of the things that is beautiful about what we're doing here is we tend to simplify things that have been made overly complex to the point where you can't even utilize the information that you received. You see? We're all about wisdom here. And wisdom is different than knowledge. People have tons of information and data and knowledge, but very few people apply that knowledge. And that's what wisdom is. Wisdom is applied knowledge. So who knows what the future holds for me regarding a collaboration with Blockchain Backer. Maybe that's in the cards someday. I think if people really do appreciate his TA this much, then that means he must be onto something. And again, like, I only have positive things to say about another creator. I appreciate people for creating and sharing it with the world. I think that that's the gift. It's the gift. But this whole comparing about who's better, who's right, that I'm actually trying to help people right now. Like, I'm trying to help people. Like, the self-reliant man doesn't spend time worrying about who's better or worse, or who's more talented or less, or who's more right or who's more wrong. It's the being that feels the most life. When you feel life, you're not trying to get life from somewhere else. And this is what it comes down to for most people, is what gives them life is consuming content all day on YouTube, or playing video games, or, you feel me? And then when the micro analysis comes in of it all, it's like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? And I noticed a lot of this energy come up in my work lately. And again, this is not sexy what I'm talking about right now. This is going to be weird for some people because they're like, well, Waters almost never talks about another creator, and I never do. That's why I'm giving him my flowers, and I'm keeping it super positive, and I'm open to collaborations in the future. And what I'm saying is not against him at all. It is only to the people consuming the content. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We've been through this before, right? We're going to go through another bull run, and people are going to want to find like the person with the answers. Like, I'm not your fucking answer. You're never going to get an answer from another being. All of your answers are within you. They're within you. I can't give you an answer. That's not how this works. And if you think somebody's here to give you answers, then this is really going to be problematic for you in the future, because you will always be reliant on that other person. What we're doing here is to try to make you self-reliant. We're actually teaching skills so that you could apply it to what interests you, and then there you go. But to address the specifics, like, I'm playing chess here, by the way, with what I'm talking about. The specifics is that I'm saying that maybe XRP could go up to $1, maybe $1.30, and then roll over. And then everyone else is saying, well, blockchain backer says it's going to $13 like soon. And I'm like, yo, who gives a fuck? Like, seriously, who gives a fuck? What will you do when the price goes to those? Like, it's all about what you will do. But a lot of people want me to go ahead and be like, he's wrong. Blockchain backer's wrong. No, he's not. Dude, I'm not even going to worry about that stuff anymore. Like, we've transcended the competition. There is no competition in Waters Above. It does not exist. Jacob Jimenez, appreciate you. CMGZ 510, appreciate you. I'm just reading some comments. Eddie V says, why are there going to be fire rituals in 2024? Well, specifically, this is actually an old decode from me, really old, and it's been broken up into several interviews, podcasts, a lot of my work. I'll show you guys why I think on April 15th of 2024 there will be a fire ritual. Sorry, I'm typing with one hand. My other hand, I'm looking at your questions. Got a very archaic setup going on right now. Anywho, couple things. The original Paris Olympics logo, was this. It was a 24, which is obviously the logo of Jupiter. It's the zodiac logo of Jupiter. I talk about this a lot. I think I even got asked about it on the Good Morning Crypto show. So this is the logo of Jupiter. Now, one of Jupiter's symbols is the thunderbolt, the lightning bolt. So there you have fire. But then this is a more updated logo. And you could pretty much see clear as day here that this is a flame. It also looks like a woman's head. It does look like a woman and a flame as the same logo. This is a very interesting idea here because I said April 15th specifically. This has to do with a connection to April 15th landing on Mondays. And if it happens to land on a Monday, it typically gets ritualized. This was the case with the Boston bombing. It was the case with the Notre Dame fire. It was the case with the Titanic sinking. The day with the most C-19 cases. So yeah, April 15th is ritualized. And I found the missing link. It's if it lands on a Monday. I probably shouldn't even be saying this shit like anymore because this is like going to be scary if it comes true. Because it's too specific. But yeah, I believe it will be a fire ritual because fire is also air. And we're moving into the age of Aquarius. We're pretty much aware that all of the big rituals on the world stage have been by air since we've transitioned. Starting with 2001 with 9/11, that ritual being planes flying in the sky, of course. Planes, air symbol, and C-19 being one of the biggest events in our lifetime. I mean, in the past 100 years. And that being a virus transmitted through the air. The next thing will continue to be of that essence. Because we're moving into Aquarius, air symbol. So yeah, there you go. April 15th. It could be April 14th into 15th. A ritual. And just a week before that, a little bit less than a week before that, will be the Great American Eclipse on April 8th. So I believe it will be an eclipse ritual. Even more reason to believe that something big is about to happen in April. And Jupiter is real important, guys. Jupiter symbolism is the oak tree. It's the lightning bolt, thunderbolt. It's tied to justice in the masculine, law, rights. And Paris is parasite. It is the parasite. This is why this city is loaded with insane architecture that is... I mean, anyone who's spent at least a week in Paris knows what I'm talking about. Compared to every other city on Earth, that is a very, very special place architecturally. It's like every fucking 10 feet you walk, you see some incredible building or some arc. So, and you know, their main museum in Paris, the Louvre, is the most famous museum on Earth. With the Mona Lisa, Mona, M-O-N, moon. moon worship. This Eiffel Tower is the phallus of Osiris. Arc de Triomphe is the firmament. It is the skull. Got about 500 people with us. Appreciate y'all. Hope you're all having a beautiful, beautiful Saturn day in the Matrix, wherever you are. Sylvia, I appreciate the super chat. Sending you lots of love. You said, hi, Jordan. What do you think about Rh negative and positive Rh blood factor? I know for women it's important. I know it's a different topic. I used to be worried about it. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. You know, the blood is one thing, but I feel like we get so caught up in blood that we rarely talk about the bigger, more important system, which is the lymphatic system. And I only call it more important. It's not actually more important, but I just say that to emphasize it because it's never spoken about. It's not fair for me to say that it's more important, of course, because the body is an organism. Everything about the body in its natural form is important, of course. But you get what I'm saying. Everyone wants to talk about the blood, and they isolate the blood in modern, medicine pretty much. That's how they use all of their diagnosis comes from that, etc. So yeah, I think there's been so much in that, and then in the process completely overlooking the lymph. And if we don't talk about that, then, we're missing out on the body's, well, it's like the body's dumpster. It's the body's sewage system, okay? So we don't talk about the body's sewage system, then what happens when your trash can is overflowing? Where are you going to put the next trash bag? Where are you going to put your waste? What happens when your toilet bowl is clogged and you need to use the bathroom again next time? Can't flush. So what happens? This waste material spills over, and where does it spill over to? Into the blood. So a lot of the issues with blood is systemic of the lymph. So how about that, Sylvia? I think we are making way more progress on this answer just by talking about this. So clean up the lymphatic system, clean up your lymph, and that's actually quite easy to do. It just depends on where you're at with your current consumption regimen, how you take care of yourself, your mental, are you somebody that's calm, or are you somebody that has lots of anxiety and worry and fear, and you're always like, stressed out? Because it doesn't matter how fucking good you eat if you're always stressed out and anxious and worried. See, I only bring this up because you brought that up in your super chat. You said, I used to be worried about this whole Rh blood factor thing. But here's the thing, Sylvia, you're worried about it because you learned about it. We talk about this topic a lot. It's called Medusa, right? When you look Medusa in the eyes, you turn to stone. This is what happens when you're looking at information and then you start to be in fear due to this recent information coming into your reality tunnel. If you start to worry about it, you will literally become the worry. So it's all mental. Everything physical here that's happening is mental. Really think about what I just said. Magali says, I love your live with Decode Your Reality, by the way. It was truly amazing. That means a lot to me. Yeah, shout out to Decode Your Reality, man. Brother Logan sharing some incredible decodes over the past couple months. Mr. Jansen said blockchain backer and Waters collab would be next level. Possibly. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. I'm willing to collab with people if they're willing to allow the truth. Layla Timothy, sending you lots of love. I hope you're doing well. Oh, this is a good comment. Yes, I like this one. Phoenix says, what I learned from YouTube, whichever YouTube content creator don't show their face, don't trust them. Let's give this a comment a round of applause, everyone. This is good. Yum, 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 yum. You hear that, folks? Better not trust me. The YouTuber. All right. That was fun. Moving on. D. Jenkers, I don't know how to say the name, but I appreciate you sending love over to Indonesia. That's what's up. Cryptic Blaze says, yo, how does one tap into infinite knowledge? Well, let's just think about what the word knowledge is. It is no ledge. There is no ledge. There is no curb. There is no end. It is infinite in the word. There is no ledge. What do you call this thing on your face that smells? You call it your nose because it knows. This is gnosis. It's senses, it's sensory. Your senses, your smell, all frequency is coming back to what is called intuition. This is knowledge. There is no edge. It is forever. It has no beginning. It has no end. It is consciousness. So how does one gain infinite knowledge? Well, we already went over this. It is no ledge. So it's already infinite. It's already forever. But how do you acquire that? It's what everyone wants to know. The way that you start to acquire an immense amount of utilizable data is when you start to question the language you speak. And when you finally realize that everything that you say, you don't actually know, then you can start to question, and the questioning going towards something that you've been doing almost automatically in what we call communication. Most of us don't even know the words we're saying. We know the definitions of the words we speak, but we do not know their meanings. And every word is a trap within a trap. And it's not just English, it's all of these Latin languages, it's all the Germanic languages, it is all the languages. Because they all came from sounds that were made and these tones. And you pull these tones out like a sword from the stone. Excuse this rave party that's driving by. I can't control that. But before I said, we don't know the meanings. Think about the word mean when you're being mean to somebody, when you're mistreating them. We call it being mean. We also use this in mathematics. The mean is the average. Think about how one word is used in so many ways, but most of us actually don't even know what the meaning is. It has the word me in it. Who is me? Is that you? I'm not even trying to give you answers right now. I'm literally just trying to make you conscious of the words you speak. And then you'll start to, like, before you go to sleep at night, you'll be like, fuck, I was thinking about this word dream. What does the word dream mean? And then you're going to start to literally self-learn because you're going to question every little piece of these sounds. And you know that these come from other words, and it's going to be intuitive for you, the same way the language itself was created intuitively. There's this beautiful part of this song on the Bright Eyes album, The People's Key, and he says he's talking about language, and he talks about picking up a pomegranate, and he looked at the pomegranate and he was like, why do we call it that? Like, why do we all agree to come up with this sound for this item? It's pretty amazing. Like, where do we get these words from? Where do they originate? That right there will spiral you so deep into gnosis. I know it sounds weird and like kind of counterproductive, but like seriously, try it. Like, think about the word serious. Serious. Give me a second. We have Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky. Huh. It means glowing or scorching. Just think, guys. This is your language. It's all coming from somewhere, all these words. I think that's why the Decoding Mastermind is going to be so dope, because we're not really going to spend too much time with the actual Gematria calculator. There's no need to fuck around with this thing if you don't even know the words you speak. What are you doing with this calculator? Right? What are you doing with it if you don't even know the words you speak? If you don't know the words you speak, then who cares about the numbers that they add up to? The dog barks. Bark. Bark is on a tree. This is where we get the DMT. All right, I'm going to stop. Oh, we got a recap from Phoenix. They said, you should show your face to the world if you are 100% and not being paid. I am being paid. I'm being paid by you right now in your attention and prana. Thank you, come again. It's my favorite currency. You're like a fine wine. You've been aging in my cellar, and I just popped the cork open right now. I've decanted you, and now I'm taking my first sip, and it's lovely. You are my favorite aged wine. Somebody said, what are your thoughts on Gary, the numbers guy? Yes, I've heard about him. Is this the one that he calls himself like GG33 or something? I think. But no, I haven't actually consumed any of his stuff because I don't even know where to find it. He seems to just have clips like shorts and clips that are from interviews. That's all I've seen. That's all people have shared with me. But I've never seen any like presentations or any like, it just seems like he does the interview circuit. And that is like his claim to fame, I suppose. This is what's so funny, what the person brought up before about like seeing someone's face. Like, do you think it's advantageous for business and growth and like spreading truth to not show your face? Because that's definitely not the case. Like the people that do those interview circuits that are just everywhere accepting every interview, they get so insanely popular even if they don't actually have anything to say. Just by showing face. That's why we use that term, showing face. First of all, it's not popular for me to show my face. Second of all, it's not popular for me to speak the way I speak. And I think that that Gary the numbers guy is kind of spicy too, right? Like, is he very like fiery energy? Like he just kind of says whatever the fuck, you know? He doesn't really hold back. I guess that's why some people respect him a lot. I'm not sure. But the only thing that I remember I ever heard him say about crypto, somebody sent me a clip about it, and he said that Zcash was like the best. He said some shit about Zcash. I know we don't talk about crypto on these, but like family. Let me show you the Zcash chart if you want to see the number one shitcoin chart of all time. Let's get into it. Okay, dude. This is the C19 crash. This thing has back-tested the C19 lows. Goodness gracious, what a sack of shit this chart is. So it's like, okay, it's fun when people like just stick to their lane, you know? Like just stick to your lane. Like when I'm talking with Logan about astrology, if we're not talking about symbolism or mythology, do you hear me talking over him? Do you hear me giving like Vedic astrology, you know, statements? No, that's his shit. That's like his specialty. But yeah, that clip that I saw of Gary the numbers guy talking about Zcash is like, what are you even saying, dude? Look at this. This is a dead animal on the side of a road. This is the price in 2017. Let's go back to Bitcoin February 2017, just for fun. Bitcoin February 2017. By the way, it's the same price fucking today. That's the point here. All right. Bitcoin in February of 2017 was $1,000. Today it is $30,000. What are we even talking about with Zcash? Bitcoin was $1,000 at the same price with when this coin was at $30, but it's still at $30 today. What is this advice? So yeah, I don't know, like when people talk about decoding and talk about like they try to get really fancy with other things that require quite a bit of knowledge and awareness, it's probably better that they don't talk about it until they've consulted people out there that actually know what they're talking about. But you know what's sad too is you know how many people who like these types of, that sort of energy and that sort of person, they're just gonna blindly accept these statements and be like, yeah, like Zcash must be good because this guy said it. And they're not gonna know how to read this chart. They're not even gonna know what they're looking at. Like this is a leper. This altcoin has leprosy. It should be shadow banned and brought to altcoin leper island and banished. All right, I'm done roasting Zcash. And shout out to the team at Zcash, by the way, for hanging in there. Yo, I'm a fucking savage. I gotta stop. Shout out to Zcash fucking development team, bro. You guys are hanging on like a loose tooth, like the first set of teeth. Damn, where's their business? Where's okay? I'm stopping. I gotta stop. I'm gonna stop. It's too bad. Got to get back on the rails. Got to get my bearings straight. D-Vortex, appreciate you showing up. Hope you're having a beautiful day in the Matrix. Ruby Heart Drip says Waters is secretly Connor Oberst. Can my boy Connor grow a beard though? Is that not happening? Yeah, homie doesn't really grow a beard. I'm just reading some questions. Verhoofdy Floofin says, I wouldn't be surprised if you were paid by actual crypto companies. So, which ones? Let us know. Share your theories. I like theories. Which one is it? Is it Zcash? Yo, when is Zcash gonna reach out with the promo payout for me? Guys, I should have told you a long time ago. I'm part of a multi-level marketing experiment that only focuses on Zcash. So I am a Zcash influencer from now on, and I will only talk about Zcash, and everything else I will be disregarding moving forward. Let's decode Zcash. Well, yeah, it's not going to be too much data. Got the big old 19 AI 1 plus 9. Back to the start. 21. Of course, has the caduceus in it too with the Z. What was last becomes first. What was first becomes last. It has cash in it. It's the C ash. The C ash. Because you see with your eyes, you have currency, you see the Akashic records, ashes from dust to dust. This is the remnants of the flame. The fire burns and it will turn to ashes. Z is just an S in reverse. It's the same symbol. Z, S, it's a snake. It's the movement of energy. It's direction. Cash is currency, ash. It's paper. You burn the paper. What does it turn to? This 57's pretty big this year specifically. All right, we're just having fun. XRPG Blinder. I like that name. That's a pretty creative handle. I appreciate your kind words. We're not gonna say too much about this a GG33 guy, because I just don't know enough about him. Like I told you guys before, I've only seen a couple clips. I saw that thing that he said about Zcash that was absolutely retarded. And then he is just very like Andrew Tate like. He has this Andrew Tate energy, you know? And that's what gets the likes. That's what gets the clicks, because it's dramatic. Dramatic people get dramatic viewership, which is a majority of the consumers on this earth. So I'm not really into dramatic people who play that type of card as their angle, you know, and it's clear that that's his angle. But I can't really talk about him because I just don't know enough. Honestly, when it comes to decoding, the only decoders work that I actively, check out and that I'm aware of, and I could kind of like speak on it from my experience is Decode Your Reality. He's pretty much the only one. You said he says Zcash because it was founded on the 28th, and 28th, according to him, is the number of wealth. What? Look at the chart, though. This is the chart of staying broke forever, unless you're a really masterful trader and you could get in on these moves. I mean, I rarely cringe at a chart that has this much data. This is going back to 2016. It's lower than the prices that it traded at in 2016. Like, what wealth is there? If you hodled this, mamma mia. Like, you'd be better off like investing in like fucking Game Boy Colors. You could probably find a Game Boy Color out there and resell it to somebody on eBay, make more money than. Is this shit down like 90% from the top too? Look at this. Even with this lackluster run, it still lost 94% of its value in this last cycle. Horrendous. But you know, like, what is that based in? Decode, you said that 28th is the number of wealth. Like, where? When? Why? 2 plus 8 is 10. 28 isn't a prime. 10 goes back to 1, or 10 is the ones and zeros, the binary, the program. I mean, like, where is number 28 associated with wealth? I mean, unless there's some elaborate kind of thing, like, I mean, right there, the word wealth is just packed full of powerful numbers. I mean, look at multiple 24s connecting you back to the zodiac logo of Jupiter. This is also 24 hours in a day tied back to time, tied back to the movement of the sun. This is all important, code. This 24 is everything, when it comes to finances. Everything runs on this clock. You work for hours in the day. Hours is Horus. Day means die. When you wake up, they say good morning because you are dead. They mourn you at your wake. Wealth. Wealth is tied to Pluto. Pluton. Wealth is tied to Pluto. To the Merovingian in the Matrix movie. But that 6-9 is Cancer. That's the yin yang. That's balance. That's the white within the black within the white, the subconscious and the conscious mind balanced. But that's just Gematria, family. Wealth is we all. Because that's what wealth is. It's when it passes through you to the next and on, continued. We all. We, you take the W, flip it upside down, me. We is me, because you are not separate of me. That's just my central nervous system. That's all. But we are one. Samantha Leonard, sending you love. Appreciate you. Oh, Rip Jesus said something that I sort of thought. Ripped Jesus, which is an amazing YouTube name. You said he is a numerology guy. Okay. Yeah, man, like these one-sided, aspects, they're going to be very limiting. They're going to be very, very limiting. That's what's so powerful about Gematria, or about any word or alphanumerical cipher system. Like, that's really taking it to the next level. Numerology's fun and all, but numerology is like level 1 stuff. Just looking at the zodiac, that's level 1 stuff. Like, I'll break it down like this. If you know numerology, the reason I call it level 1 is because most people that are into numerology, that doesn't necessarily mean they know about mathematics. They might not know about primes. They might not know about Fibonacci sequence. They might not know about the importance of, triangular number. They might not know about pi. And what I'm saying is, I know they will know what pi is, they know what Fibonacci sequence is, but it's the application of it as they decode. So these sorts of things, these nuances are really important, for sure. But then ultimately, the reason I said that zodiac is level 1 is because if you don't know the mythology, then it's going to be very bland. But when you know mythology, then it makes your astrology real strong. It's a better foundation. And when I say mythology, I'm not just speaking of Greco-Roman. I'm also talking about going all the way back to Babylonian, going back to, Egyptian mythology. This will build stronger foundation. So if you're just doing numerology, you're going to be missing a lot of importance. Oh, and also, if you're doing numerology and you're just looking at the numbers and you don't know what each number symbolizes, then that's going to be very difficult to dial in. That's why what we're doing here with decoding is so incredible, because we can take it and continue to zoom in more and more and more until we're getting down to a symbol within a symbol. I'll have fun with this, okay, with you guys. Don't look at what this is adding up to at the bottom. We're just playing with the numbers. So Decode, shout out to Decode, by the way, in our community. He's hanging out with us here in the chat. He brought up 28 for whatever reason. I guess this number he said was tied to wealth, and it was because the numbers guy said, or whatever. Okay, so 2 duality, right? 2 duality. It's dual. It is bi. It is double, right? You say bi bull, 2 bulls. All right. Look at the zodiac. Second sign. Bull, Taurus. It is by bull, right? Going a little deeper here. 8. You say, I ate, I consumed, I ate food, I consumed. You flip that 8 over, that's your infinity symbol. You take that 8 and you separate it. It's 2 zeros, it's 2 circles, it's 2 portals, it's sun, moon, sun and moon. You connect them together, now they're an 8. When you have you as the sun and you have what you consume, you are eating. You ate. Okay? It is Pac-Man. Literally. Okay? Ate. Garden of Eden. Eaten. The Garden of Aten. We could keep going with this. But it's important that people know what each number it means alone and then kind of go from there, build more. 8 is also cell division, the symbolism of the cell dividing. It's the infinity symbol. Because it is infinite if it has a witness, if it has something to consume. That is all. It's a give and take. Dustin said Zcash probably doesn't even have an email newsletter. Dustin, let me clear this up, all right? An email newsletter is the only thing Zcash has. That's all they got. It's fucking one dude at home, sending out like... That's their development team. Ruby Heart Drip says the faint over Bright Eyes. We're not about that life here, though. We're not trying to say one thing is better than the next, but I, as a fan of Saddle Creek Records, will check this out later. I appreciate you. But Bright Eyes is deep. Like, that People's Key album is one of the most conscious albums lyrically that I've ever read. It is insanely conscious. We've decoded a lot of that stuff here on this channel. Well, not on regular videos, but usually on live streams. Somebody said that I should get paid with Shiba Inu. No, Zcash. That is the only... From now on, I will only... Okay. I told you guys I'm a paid sponsor of Zcash. Yeah, somebody said Zcash won't pay you. It's because they have nothing to pay me. They've been bankrupt since crypto was invented. S. Broccoli, I appreciate you. Much love. We're joking around. We're joking around a lot tonight because we're just having fun. It's been a wild week. It's been a really wild week. We're just trying to decompress. It's a Saturn day. We're having fun. We're decoding too. We're having, we're getting spicy as usual. Crypto Babe says, "What's up with the mosquitoes?" Who's being a mosquito? Crypto Babe, let us know. Saitama dog. Yeah. Anna, I'm an AI robot that's been being self-rewarded through Zcash. No, we're just fucking around. Ooh, did this new song lyrics drop? I'm not able to play it because it's gonna. 1 second, family. Somebody was asking me what I've been listening to lately. I've been listening to this new Earl Sweatshirt song on repeat. These lyrics are insane. Yeah, no. New Earl's gonna be insane. All right, I'm looking at the chat now. Somebody's having fun outside. City Guyable says Zelensky cash. Yo, why is that so funny? Do you guys remember you guys remember this? I'm gonna show you guys something so funny. You guys could also follow me over here if you want. If you want to read some spicy spice at WatersAbove. WatersAbve. No O. All right, but I have something hilarious to show you guys. I don't know if they're gonna take down this live stream if I play it. So I'm just gonna show you guys the video. And yes, this one. Go check out this video, dude. Homie is literally wearing stiletto heels. And people are like, this is fake. This is a deep fake. No, it is not. Go watch the original and you will see the bodies and the dancing style of the original. And you will see that this is not a deep fake. Because the bodies and the faces and the dancing of these gentlemen is clearly very, very different. And a deep fake is replacing the face on the same body. This is a one-to-one legitimate, classy gold. I love the hashtags here. Hashtag war in Ukraine. Yo, who made this? Who re-uploaded this? Fucking masterpiece. All right, let me try loading it. I'm gonna try loading it. I don't even care anymore. What? No. Stop. Look at these clowns, dude. All right, that's all I'm going to play. Have fun. How you guys doing? Is this thing literally called just Z Cash? Yeah. Bankless said GG33 also said XRP would lose the lawsuit and said it would go to zero. Well, that's not going so well, eh? So is this GG33 guy like the Peter Schiff of like world predictions or something? Mark the Shark says everyone was saying XRP was going to the moon if they won, but it's still down 80% from 6 years ago. Well, Mark, welcome to the Waters Above Wolfpack, where we have not one time entertained the idea that the SEC ruling of XRP not being a security will create a massive price surge, more than just a technical target of 80 cents to $1. That's what it would do, and that's what it did. And the people that were trying to perpetuate anything absurd, like instantly going to $10 or $20 or $40 or whatever, you know, they had no idea. They had no idea. But they wanted to do that because, again, it's like hopium. It's the never-ending mainlining of hopium into the main vein, you know? Keeps people feeling good. You guys remember this girl? Oh, do you guys know Theo Vaughn? Shout out to Theo Vaughn. Super funny comedian, probably like one of the funniest just speakers on earth. Like he's just off the cuff, random. Like him and Tim Dillon are really up there, like inspirations of mine. And I literally heard Theo Vaughn say in a quick snippet, and he said it with a straight face. He said Will Smith's wife, or no. He said Will Smith's husband lost all his hair. And I was like, yo, did he really just say that? Because I've been hearing Theo Vaughn like slip a bunch of truth in his shit. So I have a feeling he knows, and he's like fed up with a lot of what he saw going on in Hollywood. But who knows? You know, it's a big club, and if you're not a part of it, you're just speculating. Melanie, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I appreciate the super chat. Sending you lots of love. You said we were having a discussion on Discord about eating crabs. I'm still not getting why they are bad to eat. Can you explain in a way I can understand? Hey, I'm not here to tell people what's good and bad for them to eat. You know, that's on you. When it comes to consuming anything from the ocean, just be aware that it's literally a cesspool. Our oceans are a dumping ground for toxic waste, fecal matter. I mean, you name it. Plastic, fucking anything that is inorganic is pretty much getting dumped into the oceans, and that's being consumed by all the so-called, animal life, sea life. I don't even like using these words, but I'm trying to be simple here. The thing is that the oceans are just a literal cesspool. And yeah, the heavy metal toxicity that you will get in your bloodstream from consuming anything from the oceans will be noticeable instantaneously in the body, because heavy metals in the body are realized by the body as a poison and something that needs to get out. And the problem is most people don't have a strong enough immune system to be able to deal with that, or their kidneys are not filtering lymph, so they have that problem, or they have other underlying things going on. But I would say, yeah, as for specifically crabs, shellfish, mollusks, etc., I don't personally consume that stuff. I feel it's not even important, though, to talk about the good or bad, because then people want to get into morality and ethics and all of that. And yeah, I'd rather just go the path of saying that the ocean is toxic. And because it is water, it's living waters, the type of toxicity it is way easier to pass into your body comparatively to something that grows on a tree or something that has grown in the ground. But yeah, unfortunately, this argument could kind of be made for a lot of stuff, sadly. So I can't just isolate, something like crabs or lobsters or shrimp or anything like that. We're kind of dealing with a pretty horrifying food system. But yep, when we think about things that are acidic for the body and things that are creating some noticeable issues in the modern age, such as diabetes, having issues with normally operating pancreas. Well, if you look at the thing that is the most insulinogenic, it is not bread, it is not pasta, it is not white sugar. It is actually game meat, so deer, moose, and etc. And then it is eggs, particularly egg white. And the next thing would be fish. So these are things that are creating an excessive insulin surge. And a lot of people, because they've been psyched out into this keto bullshit, and they think about this no carb or low carb stuff as being beneficial for the human organism. Completely nonsense, because everything is carbons when you talk about life on this earth. And when you try to remove the carbon from the human consumption regimen, you're basically going to have short-term results and then long-term dis-ease. But these people that decide to cut out all the meat and then they only will keep like fish and crab and shrimp, I'm kind of talking to those people right now, because that is a large group. I think they call themselves pescatarians. So if I had to get at this in all angles, which I'm trying my best to do, because I don't know where everyone's at in this, for the people that are like pescatarians that just eat fish and only that, it's probably going to have some serious pancreas inflammation. So, it's going to be acidic on the body. And these acids are creating problems because the body needs to get rid of this waste material. So if you're consuming acidic things, but your kidneys aren't filtering lymph, this acid is going to have a hard time coming out where it should come out. And instead, it's going to come out in your skin as acne or psoriasis, eczema, or any form of inflammation, either that be internally to organs or to your skin. And then after that, it leads to even bigger issues like heart disease. So consuming fish as like a healthy alternative to regular mammalian meats is nonsense. Pseudoscience bullshit that's been perpetuated by an industry that wants to continue their farmed fishing operations. And yeah, it's a great business model for them. Yeah, Melane, I believe I answered it all. You have a follow-up question about clams, oysters, lobsters, and fish. It's the same answer. Okay, and then you said I can do without meat. Well, if you don't think that fish is meat, then I don't know really where to even start, you know? Here's the thing, like, sin is tongue, it's taste. Like, it's really our tongue that brings us to the grave in the fastest fashion. And we want to think that it's other things. We want to think that there's some bigger threat in this world to us, like the New World Order, or some, like, you know, like Bill Gates is going to be hovering over your bed at night with a syringe full of fucking poison. It's not that. Like, it's literally what we eat. And a lot of what we eat, it comes back to pleasure, and we disregard any pain. So what I mean by pain, it could be things like inflammation, right? Or digestive issues, having issues, you know, being more regular in the bathroom, etc., right? So I'm just trying to say that when we think about modern food, we will only welcome the pleasure of the taste and that type of, you know. And I'm not against it. I love culinary arts. I think cooking is an amazing thing. I personally love to cook. It's really dope. It's an art form, you know what I'm saying? But if we disregard any pain, any problems that come after consuming that meal, then we're not listening to our intuition. You know what I mean? And that's really the key piece to my expansion mastermind course in the chapter called Heal Thyself. I talk about food in a way that's very different, you know? But the whole course is set up in a way that before you get to chapter 7, to that Heal Thyself chapter, you already have a grasp on how to access your intuition. And I did it on purpose that way. And a lot of people buy that course just because they want that chapter. Like, they want to know how to detox, and they want to know how to effectively fast, and they want to know how they could fast while they work out, and all of these little, you know, strategies that I share, how to stay effectively hydrated. And it's called Heal Thyself because it will prevent you from having to deal with doctors. You don't need to have anyone heal you anymore. You could heal yourself. And that's, you know, just the return on investment from that is insane. How many people have reached out to me saying they've cut back on medications, they've stopped, you know, needing to go get these supplements that they used to be buying, and all of this, like the amount of money that's being saved and how much better they feel now. They decided to cut away at all this excess because they feel better. It's about their intuition. So here's the thing, Melanie. If you're eating things and you do have inflammation that comes up along the way and you disregard that, like, I'm never going to be able to tell you enough truth to make you realize that. So and what I just said right there, family, was lit. Because whenever you're going to come to somebody who has expertise with a desire and you're seeking answers, like, I could tell you the truth all day. But until you tap into your own intuition and you actually be real with yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and take a moment to pause and reflect and check in with yourself, like, until you do that work, all of the truth that I share with you is useless. So a lot of what we talk about here on these live streams it's lighting up, the light bulb for a lot of people. And I know the diet and the food thing is a huge one, because we literally are what we eat and we consume as a big part of our life. And that just is what it is, right? So I get it. But if you want to play the game of, I want to continue to eat this one particular thing because of pleasure, and you will disregard any pain, then I can never help you. I can never offer any, wisdom to those ears, because those ears are deaf. So again, I'm not coming at any individuals right now. I'm just saying that you got to check in with self. Because that's what happened with me. Like, I got to a point with my way of consuming where I said, this thing makes me feel better. This thing makes me feel like shit. This thing makes me feel like I have more life force and more essence. And this thing makes me feel drained. And I started to take note of like what took the prana, what made the prana leak from me, and what made the prana within me like highlighted. And it was noticeable in the energy surge that I had, or the focus that I had. But it took me to make those realizations. It wasn't a YouTube video that made me realize this. It wasn't some guru or coach or mentor that I paid. Like, I had to finally be real with myself and say, you know what? Eating French fries doesn't make me feel so fucking good. Eating vegan cheese doesn't make me feel so good. Eating watermelon in one meal when I wake up, like as my first thing when I break my fast, that makes me feel insanely amazing. So am I telling people don't ever eat cheese again, or don't ever eat vegan cheese again, or don't ever eat like meat or fish? Or what would it matter what I told you if you don't practice that ability to say, this thing brings me pain and only I can change that. Only I could alleviate that dis-ease, that discomfort. And you do that with your choices. We will go against our actions and we will continue shit behavior just because we like pleasure. And the pleasure, if it outweighs the pain even slightly by 0.01%, we will continue to go the path of the pleasure. You see, that's what being a human is. We weigh everything on the scales. And if it goes slightly in pleasure zone, even if it brings us fucking pain as the aftermath, we will go forth with that. We do it all the fucking time. We do it all the fucking time. Some of us do some real dumb shit sequentially dumb shit. We go out to a bar, we start drinking too much, then we start talking to somebody, and then the next thing you know, now you're ordering fried greasy food because you started to get drunk, and now you're eating fried greasy food with a belly full of, alcohol, and then you're talking to this person, and now one thing leads to another, and you go home with them, and then you're like having unprotected sex. And it's like, how did that turn out that way? It's because you will do everything for pleasure, even if all the consequences could be bringing you some serious pain on the other side. Waking up with a hangover, waking up with terrible stomach pain, waking up feeling groggy, lifeless, and then also, the other thing. And now you're like thinking about a doctor's visit in 2 weeks. But hey, it had pleasure at first, so YOLO. And I'm not telling people how to live their life. Go out to bars, meet people, have fun. That's really, go live. But if you are coming here for the wisdom and then it's shared with you, but you have no ability to check in and you have no ability to say, I did this one thing, kind of made me feel like shit. Well, then there you go. There's your answer. It's what I said very early in this. I said this very, very early in this live stream today. Same thing. I said, I do not have any fucking answers for you. All of your answers are within you. And that is intuition that feeds you that truth every single second of every conscious hour of your day. Even while you're sleeping, when you're unconscious. You're being fed a ton of truth right there. Absorb it. Bask in it. Soak it up. See, that's really what separates the mediocre from the great. Mediocrity will continue to dig a deep hole slowly, compounded over time, because they rather follow pleasure at the expense of the pain. And it's a one step forward, two step back thing, where they're initially taking action for a quick win, but then the consequence on the other side is a big loss for higher self. So ego gets one step forward and then higher self takes two steps back. And it's like this weird sort of thing that compounds. And then at the end of the year, when you're ready to make your new next, New Year's resolution or whatever the fuck, you're never really making any change or any progress. So the difference between the mediocrity and the great is the great is willing to sacrifice those moments of actually telling the ego, like, hey, ego, I like you and all, but like, you're gonna sit in the co-pilot's chair for the next year. Like, I know I've been letting you sit I've been keeping your seat warm over here, but it's time to go back in your co-pilot position. I'm the one flying this fucking plane now. And when you decide that move, it's going to be a little uncomfortable at first because you have to actually put in some effort now. You have to do things that are alkaline instead of acidic. That requires you to burn a little bit more calories than you're used to burning. But I'm telling you, all you need is a little bit of time with that caloric burn, and then you're going to see the results. And you all know what I mean. Working out is like one of the best examples for this. You go to the gym for the first time, you can't even do one pull-up, right? Can't even do a single pull-up. But then you set a goal. You say, I want to get one, just one. And then it takes you a month. You do one. But then you're able to do 1.5 pull-ups now, 1 week after the week that you were able to do one. Now, if you think about that progress, that's actually pretty incredible, because if you were to compound that just after 2 to 3 months, after a quarter of the year, you're going to be able to probably do 3 to 4 pull-ups. And then the difference between the 4 to 6 or 7 is going to come even faster. You see? So what's happening here is you decided to set that goal on something that was very difficult to do a single thing, and then you noticed that you were able to repeat it multiple times just with the consistency. And it required you to burn a lot of calories. And guess what? We'll take this even further. Before, to do one pull-up, it actually required you to burn more calories to do that single pull-up when you could barely do it than when you could do 7 pull-ups and just doing one pull-up. Because now it's less stress on the body, because your body can do the task more easily. You have this muscle memory. You have more strength now. The more strength you have, the less calories you're burning to perform the task. So the person that could do 10 pull-ups, by the time they're done with 5 of them, the person who could barely do 1 is struggling and burning as many calories to complete just 1. This is the same thing with all wisdom. With all things. If you can dedicate 1 year and treat it the same way I just told you with that pull-up, but instead of with the pull-up, you make a business. Think about how excellent you will be by the end of the year. Think about that compounding effect for you to decide to go against the pleasure for just a moment. But the older self, the older you, or perhaps the current you that I'm speaking to right now, if this is where you're at, no shame, no guilt, just be fucking real with yourself. If this is where you're at right now, I want you to ask yourself when you wake up tomorrow, am I going to keep making decisions based on only pleasure, even though I'm aware that it brings me actually more pain and sets me back even further? That's on you. Just looking at some of the questions. JT said you goated for fucking with Earl. Well, JT, I don't know if you are into more of this particular genre of hip hop, this particular style, but if you're into it, check out Mavi, because Mavi is probably like one of my favorites. Just the first line of this song. Mavi is super conscious. He says, praying they still make love in my size. Like, think about what he's saying right there in one line. It's already too deep. I'm praying that they still make love in my size. Sober up and wipe the crust out my eyes, my last integrity and trust, a tale of crumbs for my bride. Is it a return or a failure to succumb to the tide? When Charlotte people seen folks cherish me, was a surprise they see something we not. Since doctors sliced open my stomach at 5, more often than not, at sustenance a nod before a nod. Jesus. Wow. A long June summer after we made the turn on the long route for the plunder, casted in small rooms, knitting heart looms, spinning something tragic, but love from fragments automatic, just that Sumter magic. Bars, bro. Actually, no, my favorite song by him is this one. Let me find it for you guys. No. What album was it on? This one, Chinese Finger Trap. This is so good. I could really relate to a lot of the stuff he's. So basically, what this song is about when you're putting in a lot of effort into your craft. Like when you really, really work hard, when you're putting in a lot of time, a lot of your prana into what you love to do, into your purpose, when you're serving your purpose. But Mavi is doing what I said before, and he's checking in. He's checking in with his ego. He's checking in with where he's at. Is he going too hard for the pleasure, and then it's becoming pain? So think about all of this as I go through this. He says, feel like the harder I work, the smaller escape, the taller the gate. They say it's all in the game, and I should feel honored to race. So basically, he should feel honored to be a part of this. But that's not what he feels. Feel like the harder I work, the smaller escape, the taller the gate. They say it's all in the game, and I should feel honored to race. The feet of God where I lay, feats of strength for applause, just slap some gauze on that thing. So what he's saying is these accolades, you know, these wins that he's accumulated, but just the applause, the consumer, the people who comes to show respect for what he does and, you know, buys his art. But he says, just slap some gauze on that thing, like a bandage, you know, because that's the wound. And he says, and don't be awkward on stage. New bone deposit my face. So this whole having to keep up, you know, like having to be your best, having to show up for the people. and that expectation that comes along with it. He says, I owe my life to the cause, give my all to the game, because without him, I'm lost. My martyrdom entertainment. Like, fuck. I give my all to the game, what I do, because without him, I'm lost. My martyrdom entertainment. It's a sacrifice. He said, walls of my brain I recalk, meaningful recall embraced. You hear me cough in my sleep. I hear you scoff at my jays, one for each day of the week, burn each one down in a day. Everybody treating me regular, lost my elders and baby. I wandered helpless in St. Louis, lost myself to the pavement. This is beautiful. I couldn't even remember what I was searching or chasing. You said you seen me wake up twitching, seen my mom keep you stable. That incident cost me December, 3 more ribcage I caved. That cost me the cost of me doing business, my garden tear irrigated. This guy's wordplay is insanity. Wow. Yeah, I love this line too. He said, me and Mitch gone crashed the car. We shed those tears on the highway. Me and Isaiah did the same. He went his, I went my way. I'm off to bury another angel. I ain't think that could die. When I feel things, be surprised I'm dry. I ain't think I could cry. If mama took herself serious as me, no way I'd survive. The sun just pace in the sky, trying to escape the horizon. Yeah, Mavi's a beast. Shout out to Mavi. Shane Brennan said Binance just laid off over 1,000 employees. Where'd you see that? Is that confirmed? I hope everyone's doing amazing. I wasn't anticipating hanging out on this live stream this long. Somebody asked about our Discord server for our community. So that's in the Patreon Mastermind community. And one of the perks is the Discord server. One of them. There's several others. But that's how the Discord access is given. It's anyone who joins the Patreon, patreon.com/WatersAbove. You get Discord access along with access to my weekly Red Pill podcast, which I'll be doing tomorrow, newest episode. And I'll also be releasing a new decode over on Patreon in the coming week. So next week I plan to release it. And that will be called August Blue Moon Decoded. So it's going to be a full decode over on Patreon and this new Red Pill podcast in the same week. It'll be a lot of value. I had somebody earlier asking about the courses on my website and if that had anything to do with Discord, and it does not. So my courses are just over on my website, WatersAbove.com. That's separate from everything. And Discord access is through Patreon. I hope that answers that question. Mike Roland, I appreciate your super chat. I believe you are the Mike in our community, so I hope you're doing well, brother. OG Wolf in the house. I believe you were a guitar player, a musician. You said, in regard to the earlier comment, Jordan doesn't show his face because it would be like Moses seeing the burning bush. We would all come away with grayed hair coming down the mountain with stone tablets. Oh my God. See, family, one thing you'll learn about me is I never read the comments first before saying them. I just don't have the energy to do that. Especially with supers. So, Mike, you're funny as shit. I'm not sure if I have the Moses look going on, but it'll probably be a Medusa moment for sure. Minus the fear. Appreciate you, Mike. I hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you and the family are doing incredible. Sending you lots of love. Somebody said, Sicily says, I love all my food, so my tongue taste is my friend. I just need to know what is healthy. Okay, so let's discuss this. Your tongue tastes, and it will receive that stimuli instantaneously based off of how calorically dense it is, how salty it is, how fatty it is, and ultimately how easy it is for your particular palate. So if you're somebody who's from India and you grew up eating very, very spicy curries with all these different spices in it, like cumin powder and turmeric and, all of this, well, your palate will desire particular things differently from somebody who, let's just say you're born in Ireland and you have, completely, eating food like that would make your face turn red. So again, we're just having fun and oversimplifying stuff like this right now, but getting to this idea that your tongue is somehow going to be the determining factor of health, this is where the problem is, actually. Because the tongue, the eyes, the ears, the nose, they just want to be pleased. They just want to have a good sensory experience, okay? Please remember what I'm saying right now. These things are not your true senses, though. A bigger, more important brain would be your gut. So don't let your tongue determine, what's good and bad because of taste. I mean, that's really why we've gotten to this issue we have today of morbid obesity becoming sort of the norm. And this isn't to offend anyone out there who is a little bit overweight. Like, that would never be the point. We're not childish like that. It's to bring to light an issue. Your tongue is not intuition. Your tongue is not part of the intuitive process. So after you consume a food, how does it make you feel? when it's gone through the process of digesting. So in the process of digestion, how are you feeling? That's what actually matters. But again, I think what we talked about earlier about consumption is where we'll leave it, because I think there was enough wisdom in there to chew on for some time. Tracy, I appreciate you sharing the course with your mom. That's beautiful. Frenchie, appreciate your support. Melanie, you said you have no idea how you've changed my life. You know, that really means a lot to me, but hey, we're all crossing paths with each other exactly when we need to. You know, our heart is always sending us on that trajectory. Just we rarely answer the call, you know? And with this, you answered the call. And we're here. We're aligned. And now that we're in alignment, you know, it's important that we maintenance that. What we're doing here is really beautiful. You know, it's pretty incredible to be on this frequency. And what I mean, Melanie, by maintaining it is not necessarily just with my work. I want you to go now use this new intuitive force that you have and apply it to it all, you know, really. And better yet, go apply it to the stuff that you used to, you know, resonate with. See how that comes back in, you know, to the picture. And when you start to do that, you're going to go, oh my God, all of those problems, all of those detour signs, all of those issues, all those shitty people in my life, they were all beautiful teachers of mine. They were a setup. What a beautiful setup. And that's what this is. We learn to be grateful for all the things that set us up for this alignment. That's the syncretism. Somebody said a water fast or dry fasting. I don't recommend water fasting. Dry fasting. Denise said waking up and feeling like a hoe. That's too good. Peter McCardle, I hope you're doing well, brother. You said your 16-year-old can do over 20, puts me to shame. But I think you're talking about the pull-ups. Well, you know, like, Peter, like, this is inspiring though, right? Because I'm sure when you were 16, you probably had that in you too. And we should not age the way we've been spellcasted into age. And we see this all the time, Peter. Like, there's videos out there of 60, 70-year-old raw vegans who are doing fucking 50 pull-ups. Like, it's a thing. You could find it easily. Tons of footage. Like, people that are 60, raw vegan, shredded, like literally in better shape than most 25, 30-year-olds. So if you don't use it, you lose it. You have to use muscle. Captain X Malaya, aka Marco, says thank you. Sir Jordan, I'm gonna stop smoking tomorrow. Feeling motivated. That's my man. That's my man. I believe in you, but when you wake up tomorrow, you got to look in that mirror. First thing you do, fucking right now, actually, go leave this live stream. Go walk up into the mirror, your bathroom, and say, "You are the greatest." That's all. Literally make a note in your phone that says you are the greatest and screen cap it and then make that your phone background. Every time you're going to feel an urge, every time you're going to feel this like desire to go, nope, because you're going to remind yourself, higher self is going to remind you, stay on track. Bankless says, where can I source the energy to push out more calories? I've already changed many aspects of my life that are harming me, but I feel like I should be doing more. Actually, do less. Do less and be more present with what you do. Because just this idea that you should be doing more shows that the quality of what you're doing is not purposeful. It lacks purpose. Because when you have purpose in the action you take, you feel fulfilled by it and you don't need more. So you need to get to purpose, my brother. And that's where you feel a sense of presence. Right now, that's not where you're at. Right now, the way you're operating is whilst you're doing something, you're thinking about the next thing you got to do. And then it'll never be enough. It will never be enough. When we talk about this idea of burning calories, what I mean by this is it must be triggered or fueled by purpose. If it is not feeling urgent, then it is not purpose. If you have to motivate yourself to do it, it is not purpose. If you feel that you need to go seek inspiration to be able to take the action, then it is not purpose. And you'll always start looking for more. The only reason you want more, though, is because you're going for quantity and there's very low quality. So that's it. That's the sauce. All right, my family, we are going to have to wrap this one up. I have a couple more minutes with y'all in closing. Really means the world to hang out with me and hang out with you. Kathy Katz says, I feel bad listening to your gold for free. Been a bit hard with money, but in a couple weeks I'm joining you. You make me feel at ease, no stress, no tight chest. Hey, Kathy, don't ever feel bad for that. Like, just your support is such a beautiful currency. That's why I continue to do this stuff on YouTube. I know that It's getting harder and harder for me to stay committed to doing these really long live streams, but I will do them as long as I can. And I'm trying my best to keep up with these YouTube videos. You know, there's over 200 videos for free over on YouTube. You can learn a lot from those. I never want anyone to feel that, you know, they need to invest in this art, because really the most beautiful investment is the support. So again, I really appreciate your kind words and the feeling state that you get brought to. That's really beautiful. I think we had an incredible live stream today. What a ride. It was almost like a comedy podcast most of the time. Plenty of laughs, plenty of emotions that turned into feelings. Exar Kun says, I love your lives. They're my favorite. That means the world to me. Appreciate you. All right, my family, we're going to wrap this one up. It was beautiful to make it all the way to the end. About 400, 500 people hanging out with us most of the time. Again, I will have the new Red Pill podcast available tomorrow over on Patreon. New decode coming out this week. And I will be updating you guys with anything else over on Twitter or on the YouTube channel, of course. And don't forget, Zcash is not a security. All right. I love you guys. Wishing you a beautiful rest of your Saturn day. Much, much, much